Welcome to the 2021 Global Good Awards ceremony. I'm Martin Wright, and I've the honour of not just being your host today, but also a judge on these fantastically inspiring awards. You stay with us for the next hour or so, and I guarantee you will never have had so much inspiration coming at you out of the screen of your laptop or your mobile, however you're joining us. First up, I have to say, we are hugely grateful to our headline sponsors, CH&Co, and to be here at BMA House, the home of the British Medical Association. It's a real privilege to be at what is in many ways the beating heart of the UK's fight back against the COVID pandemic. The courage and commitment shown by Britain's medics over the last 18 months sums up so much of what the Global Good Awards are all about. People putting themselves on the line, going the extra mile, making the world a safer, sweeter place for the rest of us. Now, we're also really pleased to be here because unlike some event venues, they walk the talk when it comes to sustainability too. This may be a venerable Grade 2 listed building, but they've still managed to reduce their delegate emissions by 69% over 4 years and their water usage by 5.4 million litres a year, reductions which have won them a swathe of awards. So this makes them a perfect partner for us. It's a pleasure when a venue and a client can learn from each other, as is happening. And we're all having to learn fast, because we don't have time to mess around. Unless you had your head buried in Love Island box sets of the past few months, you can't have escaped the news that when it comes to climate change and the wider environmental crisis, this is the decade for action. We're in a race against time, a race against complacency. We know what to do to crack this. We have what it takes. But dear God, we have to move fast. And many of our winners this year are living, breathing pacemakers in that race. Now, when I say we're coming from BMA House, it's true up to a point, because we're here, but you're not. No, you're not. Now, next year, COVID and other calamities allowing, you will be, and we'll have another cracking, gorgeously sustainable celebration in the flesh as we did up until 2019. Meanwhile, you're there, somewhere, and we want to see you. Whether you're in your cool casuals with a Singapore sling or propped up in bed in your PJs with a cup of tea, or if you're anything like me, probably grabbing a coffee and avoiding a deadline, let us know you're out there. Share your photos on Twitter or Instagram, and do use the Global Good Award handle, that's just Global Good Award, no S, and hashtag Global Good. Now, an award ceremony is nothing without its trophy, and we've got a lovely one. Here it is. Last year I nearly dropped it, this year I'm making sure. It's made of surplus fragments of glass fused together, and this base is that most English of trees, the elm. It's actually reclaimed from one that was a victim of Dutch elm disease, and it's finished with eco-friendly oils. Isn't it gorgeous? Talking of which, let's hear from Global Good Awards founder, the irrepressible Karen Sutton.
Greetings from the gardens of BMA House in London, one of the only central London venues with outdoor green space. And of course we all should be here today, celebrating our finalists and tucking into the vegan delights that BMA catering partner and our headline sponsor CH&Co would have been serving up. But alas, it's just me, Martin, our film crew and a couple of the BMA events team, who like all in hospitality sector and other sectors have pushed through the most incredibly difficult 18 months that we've seen in our lifetimes. There was the possibility that we could have had a physical event this year, but back in November when I was planning the timeline, I committed to going virtual, giving potential entrants clarity and certainty over what it would cost to enter our awards. After what would have been times of massive budget cuts and uncertainty for many organisations, and it paid off. Not only did we see an increase of entries by about 40% on last year, we also saw over 35% of those coming from outside of the UK. We are a global awards scheme after all, but practising what we preach means we can't have delegates flying in from all over the world to attend our ceremony. So next year, all being well, we really will be back here at BMA House, but hosting an interactive hybrid event here in London from the Great Hall and streamed all over the world through this platform Let's Get Digital. You can find out more about how you're watching today via the menu on your right. As always, a special thank you to our sponsors CH&Co, who even though faced with very little business over the last year or so, have committed to us as a headline sponsor for the second year in a row. and to Canon in their second year too, supporting and celebrating the action of so many young people around the world campaigning for their cause. And to our other key sponsors, Prospect Arts, the Planet Mark, Tideway, Ethical Angel and all our other partners, your support in these unprecedented times is invaluable. I couldn't run these awards schemes without our judges, so a massive thank you to them too. Some 37 of you this year, and some have been with us for 5, 6, 7 years and wouldn't give up their seat for anyone. They take their role extremely seriously and give every entry the evaluation it deserves. 2021 has seen our planet under pressure more than ever before, and the IPCC report confirmed what our scientists have been saying for 30 years. We're finally waking up to the enormous mountain we have to climb in this decade. The changes needed now are in the public eye. Consumers will be the significant driver of this change, demanding more from the companies they buy from. It's suddenly, just this summer alone, become a feature on our television screens, not just through documentaries, but also adverts, now including something about the advertiser's sustainability credentials. I just hope it's real action and not greenwash. We're known in this space as the awards who only reward action. Being committed to, stating aims and targets are great, but only if they're achieved. And our judges are wise enough to spot greenwash with their eyes closed. They are already pretty strict when it comes to giving out our prizes, and you'll experience some of what I'm about to say through the results today. But from 2022, we're going to be making a bold move. We're making it policy that gold, silver and bronze have to reach a certain percentage score before prizes are awarded. No organisation will receive the gold solely because they've got the highest score in the category. They've got to hit a minimum percentage. I'll be liaising with our long-standing judges to set these levels, and these scores will be published on the website shortly for complete transparency to future entrants. These tough decisions are needed for tough times. We're in the final decade where serious action can and will save our very existence. We cannot wait till 2029 to start. Tony Juniper, who was our speaker in 2015, said that if a business didn't embed purpose-led sustainability through their very core of their organisation in 5 years, they wouldn't exist in 10, and I truly believe he was right. It's no longer an option to keep innovation close to our chests and let competition get in the way. We'll only save the planet if we share and learn from each other and act together, faster, which is exactly what Richard Walker has led Iceland to do, and we're going to hear from him now. Thank you for tuning in today. Congratulations to all our finalists. Making it this far with our judges is an achievement in itself. Richard.
Hi everyone, I'm Richard Walker, Managing Director of Iceland Foods, and I'm delighted to have been given the opportunity to help celebrate this year's Global Good Awards. These bring together so many people who share the best possible joint purpose there could be. All of you creating a better world through your commitment to achieving genuine sustainability and making a positive impact on society. In my own business, our approach to this is simply called doing it right. And we've taken the lead on a number of globally important issues, from palm oil to plastics, and achieving net zero carbon by 2040. For me, doing it right means finding a balance between 3 key priorities: helping in the fight to reverse climate change, promoting social justice, and generating a profit so that our business and the jobs that depend on it are also sustainable. Since taking responsibility for this agenda 4 years ago, I've learned a number of important lessons about trying to solve big environmental and social issues. The main one is that if we are to meet these challenges, we urgently need to democratise environmentalism by making it relevant and relatable to everyone, and not just the middle classes. We need environmentalism that is about jobs and opportunity rather than cost and compromise. I've also learned that trying to solve these issues brings massive challenges, not just the obvious boardroom questions about whether change is affordable, but more fundamental ones about the need for simply unprecedented innovation, finding new solutions and new ways of working, and radically changing behaviours. Ultimately, the answer is for all business owners to extend both their time horizons and the range of stakeholders they care about, to be, as we call ourselves at Iceland, long-term greedy. But we also need to work together, all of us, with our suppliers, as in plastic removal, where we now have 90 businesses innovating together, with our competitors to achieve industry-wide solutions, with NGOs who I'm pleased to report really prefer pragmatic and hopeful solutions to confrontation. 22 of them supported our Backyard Nature campaign to help children become nature guardians. And with our communities, and not least with our colleagues and customers, who have so often come up with the answers to some of the most difficult challenges around, like issues like food waste and recycling. We're only going to achieve our objective of creating a greener and fairer planet if we all work together and empower absolutely everyone to play their part. If we can, then nothing is impossible. The Global Good Awards are a brilliant example of exactly this sort of cooperation and empowerment on which all our future depends. Thanks to all of you for your brilliant work.
Good stuff as ever from Richard. And that call for democratising environmentalism, for taking it out of the bubble, that's something which these awards are all about. Now, we have 2 more excellent guest speakers coming up later too. And what do we have in store for you in the next hour or so? Well, most important, we'll be revealing the winners of our 19 categories. And if that sounds a lot, don't worry. We're experts at cracking through them with elegant speed and picking out the very best bits. Then in the lobby, we have sponsors and contributors stands. Do have a look through. There's all sorts of interesting and useful stuff in there, and some great special offers too. And there's also a chance to live chat and connect with our other delegates. Just click on menu, then attendees, and you can also grab a one-to-one clinic with some of our experts. Simply go to sponsors and contributors, find the one you're looking for, and then request a meeting. Simple as that. If you're an award winner, at the end of the ceremony, we'll have about 20 minutes or so of one-to-one networking. So do stick around for that. Some of the judges might even be there to join you. And for everyone, do take part in our polls, which will miraculously appear on the screen when I read them out. It'll be fascinating to see what you think about issues like net zero. Talking of which, don't forget we've got our Climate Action Race to Net Zero webinar. So if you're wrestling with just what it means in practice, what to do about all those tricky Scope 3 emissions, etc., then that's the place for you. I know we've got a super panel coming along with some really practical insights. I'll be moderating it. That's happening today at 3 p.m. Finally, don't forget our wonderful behaviour change tournament, courtesy of Eco Action Games. There's a different theme each day. If you top the leaderboard on Friday, you'll win a free entry into the 2022 awards ceremony and party. Okay, that's about it for the prelims. We'll be tagging the winners on Twitter and Instagram as they are announced, and you'll also see the podium graphics appear in chat. You can just click and download for sharing. And we're kicking off with the Canon Young Champion of the Year. We have 10 finalists. 2 lucky winners will each get a Canon 250 DSLR camera worth £750, and the 8 runners-up will all win a Canon Selfie QX10 printer worth £150. So there's incentive for you. Now, to introduce those finalists, let's hear from one of last year's winners of this very award, Bella Lack.
Hi everyone, my name is Bella Lack, and last year I was the winner of the Under-17 Canon Young Champion Awards, which was an honour in itself, but I also got this incredible camera which I took a lot in the autumn to a park near me called Richmond Park, and in the park they have these red deer, and during rutting season, especially at sunrise and sunset, there are these ferocious battles, and it was incredible trying to capture these battles between the stags when sort of the mist was rising. It was really foggy, the light was soft, and then in the moments after, when they've had the battle, they've sort of calmed down, they're separated, and trying to capture them in that beautiful, beautiful lighting. And I think these awards are so important because, you know, I've heard a lot from young activists and just from young people at my school that they feel this thing called eco-anxiety, which is sort of this apprehension and fear at how the planet is in peril because of us, and how these reports are being churned out saying we have 10 years left to prevent catastrophic climate change. And I think although so many young people are feeling very overwhelmed and very anxious about what we have to do, they're managing to channel that not into apathy but into action. And on that note, I'm going to introduce you to the incredible list of this year's finalists. Samuel Angelau Lua, Faisal Al-Fawzan, Simeon Macaulau, Louis Elsom and Cohen Baines from SOS from the Kids, Eco Emeralds, Michel Amir Faraz, Sarah Goody, Anya Kathpalia, Sahana Mantha, Riva Tulpuli and Gauri Vadya.
Thanks, Bella. Turning eco-anxiety into action. That has to be a theme for this decade. Now, let's see who are the Canon Young Champions of the Year for 2021. So, big congratulations to Mia and Michelle and to Samuel. While we look at some of their photos, let's hear what the judges said about them. Some extraordinary sustainability-focused work from these two very young siblings, just 11 and 14 years old. They are unstoppable in having been involved in all sorts of local initiatives in the UAE, as well as driving environmental awareness as presenters on local radio. In their own words, we're just trying to do our bit, striving to create a ripple effect and make our time on this earth worthwhile. That's inspirational stuff. Hope for the future from the Arabian Peninsula, eh? And now Samuel, in the words of the judges, a great project with beautiful photographs that really capture the spirit and struggles to learn in the rural schools in Ibadan in Nigeria. Samuel's passion for the project shines through, indeed. And a word of congratulations too to all the other excellent finalists. I can assure you there were a lot of entries, so you did amazingly well to get this far. Okay, so we've seen what these remarkable young people can do. In the next 60 seconds, we're going to see how Canon is helping young people around the world tell their story.
I'm here to say thank you to Mr. Mike Henry, our mentor, and Canon SA.
Now, before our next category, it's time for our first poll. And with this afternoon's webinar in mind, here it is. Has your organisation set a target for net zero emissions, yes or no? And be honest, it's all anonymous, so no one will know it's you. With all these polls, you'll see the options and then the results on the side panel. Meanwhile, we're going to move swiftly on as we've got a lot to get through. So, our next category is Product of the Year, supported by Pebble magazine. And to hear about that, it's over to Georgina Stevens from Be the Change Books and her excellent assistants, Rafa and Bobby.
Hi, I'm George, and this is Bobby and
Rafa.
and we are from Be the Change Books. And we are thrilled to be here to tell you about the Global Good Awards. We've been judging since 2018. And this year, we've judged the Best Product of the Year award, which was such an amazing category. It was so exciting this year, so diverse. We decided that there needed to be 4 winners because the entrance was so good. And Rafa, can you tell us what the 4 categories were? Gold, silver,
Bronze.
and bronze, and one to watch because some of the new entrants were just not able to show the impact because they were so new. So we'll hope they'll enter again next year. Without further ado, we will announce the finalists right now as you watch. And the first finalist was
Artisan.
and the second finalist was
Rab Rab.
Fab Rap, and the third finalist was
Switch Packaging.
Switch Packaging, and the fourth finalist was
TCI.
and the final was
Polestar.
Polestar, the electric cars. So good luck to all of you. You're all amazing. And I'll hand over to Martin now, who's going to announce the winners. Good luck, everyone. Bye from us.
Thanks, guys. I think you could have given Bobby a line or two, eh? Anyway, here come the winners. Just love that music, don't you? And a gold, silver, 2 bronzes, and a 1 to watch. You can tell the judges had their work cut out with some amazing quality entries. And we've a cracking gold winner in Artisan. Here's what one of the judges said. A beautiful product and supply chain with a strong demonstration of long-lasting social impact and the empowerment of local women to set up their own weaver groups. A beautiful story. And that's a crowded field, so kudos to them. Let's see what Artisan is all about. I've been lucky enough to work briefly in Senegal, and I've seen what amazing craftspeople some of the women there are. So it's great to see their work reach the wider stage in a way that rewards them well too. Now we come to Campaign of the Year, and to introduce it we have Adam Pensotti from Canon EMEA, sponsors of the Young Champion category.
Hello, I'm Adam Pensotti. I work for Canon EMEA, looking after our Canon Young People programme. I've been involved with Global Good Awards since last year when I judged the category Canon Young Champion of the Year. This year, I've also been asked to be a judge on the Best Campaign of the Year. I thought there was lots of great, diverse programs running all around the world. This made it really quite challenging, but in the end, we have decided on gold, silver, and bronze prizes. Which brings me to the finalists. It's a pleasure to announce the following 4 finalists. In no particular order, first up is 89Up, Toyota Mobility Foundation and Nesta Challengers. Next is ITV, Uncommon Creative Studio, Good Stuff and Essence. Third, Tesco Mobile and Crisis. And finally, This Life Cambodia. I'll hand you back to Martin to reveal the winners.
Thanks, Adam. And cue the thumpy music. Here come the gold, silver and bronze. Fine spread of winners there. Here's what one judge said about our deserved gold winner, ITV. A bold, fresh and disruptive campaign with impressive creative execution and use of partnerships. Strong evidence not only of its reach and awareness, but the active conversations on mental health and the funds raised to support the work were bolstered by the role the CEO has played internally in championing it. So memo to CEOs everywhere, get behind the good stuff. Now, let's see that campaign in action.
To all the doctors, the nurses, the
educators,
all the brilliant office staff, all the brilliant cleaning staff, all the unsung heroes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So many people are pulling together,
keeping us going, keeping the country going
in impossible circumstances.
Thank you.
Be good, be generous, and most of all, be kind.
Pick up the phone.
Check in on your people.
Above all, keep Britain talking.
Keep Britain talking. Get talking.
Get on, Britain. Let's get talking.
It's great to see the mental impact of all those months of lockdown being addressed by such an influential player on our screens, isn't it? We now come to the hotly contested Technology for Good category, sponsored by Ergio Studios. To introduce this, Joe Bagley, who as the more observant of you might spot, is from VMware.
Hi, I'm Joe Bagley. I'm the CTO for Europe, Middle East and Africa at VMware. And I've been a judge now since 2018 on the Global Good Awards, and I always judge the Tech for Good category, one that we won ourselves a few years ago. The Tech for Good category is one that always excites me actually on a yearly basis because the diversity of entries is huge. It's not just someone who's invented some amazing cool new gadget for doing something. It's people using technology in interesting ways to change people's lives and to change the world for better. And that really excites me to look at what people have come up with this time. The category really is quite a broad one, as I say, and there's a very, very broad range of entries from people doing cool things with data centers to people doing cool things with search engines to people doing amazing things with energy. So, and everything in between. There are a gold, silver and a bronze and 2 ones to watch who showed huge potential here, but are still very early on in their journey. And so but we'd love to see them enter again in the future. And ones to watch have come back in the past to win big at the Tech for Good Awards. So without further ado, I'm delighted to introduce the finalists for this category. We have Agilex, Aligned, Carbon Click, the Fair Labour Association, I Am Me, IT Renew, Ocean Hero, Octopus Energy, and Stymie. I'll now hand you back to our host, Martin, to reveal the winners. Good luck.
Lovejoy's point about moving tech beyond the fixation with cool new gadgets, says the man who's had the same laptop for 10 years. Now, for the winners. I was one of the judges on this category, and I can vouch for the fact that it was a really strong field. Choosing a winner was tough, but Octopus really stand out. As one of our judges, just possibly me, commented, an impressive use of technology to be a force for good. Octopus are one of the success stories among the energy disruptors, and their high levels of customer satisfaction would appear to be a strong vote of confidence. Their tariffs are a huge driver and inspiration for harnessing behavioural change to green the grid. And here's Octopus in action.
The technology we've built brings people lower energy prices at times when the sun's shining and the wind's blowing, so that we can adopt lower cost energy that's more sustainable. We're delivering that kind of technology today because the fight against climate change is so urgent.
No frills there. Just some straightforward facts. Who says green energy has to be complicated? Now, we move on to climate action journey to net zero. That should really be race to net zero, shouldn't it? Maybe next year. It's sponsored by the Planet Mark and introduced by the excellent Steen Wilhelmsen from Hubbub. They've been a worthy winner in their time, so they know what it takes.
Hi everyone, I'm Stina Wilhelmsen, Senior Creative Partner at environmental charity Hubbub. I was really thrilled to join the judging team for the first time this year, but Hubbub have been on the judging panel for a few years, and we've even taken home a few awards ourselves. We had lots of great entries to the climate action category this year from organisations that are really committed to lowering the carbon footprint of their business activities. It was a really tough decision, but we had to make one. So without further ado, I'm delighted to introduce the finalists for the climate action category. Aviva, NatWest, Treedom, and Yealands Wine Group. I'll hand you back to our host, Martin, to reveal the winners. Good luck.
Thanks, Steen. I hope they've let you out of that prison cell now. No, I know, it's just the stark brick background of effortless urban cool. So, let's see the runners and riders. Congratulations to Aviva. Here's what one of our judges had to say about our gold winner. Excellent holistic plan for achieving net zero. It's clear that Aviva has been serious about the climate crisis for a long time, having been carbon neutral since 2006. The example of their Perth office gives clear, absolute and percentage reduction figures and a strong employee programme supported by C-suite leadership. You can't ask for more than that, and you shouldn't ask for much less, actually, such as the scale of the challenge. Here's what it looks like.
Now, it's not going to be easy. In fact, it's probably the most challenging target that we have ever set ourselves, and we are bringing it upon ourselves. But I firmly believe that Aviva has a clear responsibility to act. We've got the power to make a real difference, put our own house in order, and at the same time, inspire and influence others to reach the same crucial goal.
I love that. The most challenging target we've ever set ourselves. It's not going to be easy. I love that humility and that honesty. We could do with a lot more of that, eh? And talking of honesty, we now come to the environmental behaviour change category. Or do we? This is the bit where we need to hear from one of the country's leading behaviour change experts and long-standing judge, Paula Owen.
Hi everybody, my name is Paula Owen and I run a company called EcoAction Games. In fact, you might have been playing one of our games this week as we are running an EcoAction Higher Lower tournament for all attendees of the awards tonight, and it will be running until Friday. So if you haven't given it a go yet, please do. I've been a judge for the Global Good Awards since 2015, its inaugural year. And because of the work I do, I've always judged the behavioural change category. This year, myself and my fellow judges have made the unprecedented decision not to actually give out any awards. The reason for this is, although we had many entries into this category, myself and my fellow judges felt that they weren't quite hitting the mark in terms of the behavioural change element of their projects. I'm not saying they weren't very good projects. They were good in terms of some of them were great marketing initiatives and some were very effective educational programs. But what they were missing was that essential behavioural change element. And by that, I mean the identifying of the audience that they wanted to change the behaviour of, and then monitoring and providing evidence of the behavioural change that has come from that initiative. Some of the entries we could place in other categories. And indeed, some of those entries did very well in those other categories because they were more suited to that category. So this year, we will not be awarding a gold, silver or bronze award to anybody for behavioural change. Now, over this week, I have been running behavioural change clinics for any of the attendees of the awards ceremony. And I have a few sessions left on Thursday and Friday if you would like to book those in. I'd be really happy to talk to you about this. So thank you, and back to you, Martin.
Now, Paula's one of the nicest people on the planet. So if she says things can't quite up to scratch, you better believe it. Do grab one of those places on her clinics if you get a chance. You really won't regret it. And entrance, get your act together for next year, eh? Right, on with the awards. We have a new category this year. It's that all-important waste reduction and minimisation. And that's appropriate enough since this is National Recycle Week. You knew that, didn't you? Of course you did. Anyway, to introduce it, we have Phil Clark from Consciam, who's very relevantly framed.
Hi there, I'm Phil Clark, founder of Consciam, an environmental consultancy specialising in measuring impacts and footprints, developing impact reduction strategies and helping companies on their journey to B Corp certification. I've been a judge since 2017. One of my categories this year was a new one, waste reduction and minimisation, which seems really fitting as it's recycling day today here in Cornwall. I've got my sunglasses made of recycled fishing nets, and this is happening during Recycling Week. Being a Global Good Award, it also looks to go beyond the standard stuff. So the award recognises both innovation and creativity within house waste reduction, but also importantly along the wider value chain. So important. It's fantastic to see such excellent innovation from so many companies. And in the end, we decided to award 2 gold awards to represent 2 companies with very different sizes and approaches, as well as the usual silver and bronze. So I'm delighted to introduce the finalists for this category, who are DPD, Ian Snow, Redrow Homes, and SOS Kit Aid and World Rugby. Congratulations to all 4 of you. So without further ado, I'll hand back to our host Martin, who will reveal the winners. Good luck.
Thanks, Phil. I hope you got that sorted. And yes, indeed, 2 gold winners. Let's unleash the podium places. So, 2 strong winners there. One big, one small. I was privileged to be a judge on this category too, and here's my comments. First on Ian Snow. With fast fashion and homeware such a challenging issue, Ian Snow is clearly a shining light in waste reduction. This family business is proving that it's possible to instill a waste minimisation and reuse culture at the heart of an SME. Their personal commitment absolutely shines through. And on DPD, I reckoned it was an impressive demonstration of a strong commitment across the business with some welcome engagement of staff and customers. Clearly, DPD has put waste management at the heart of its strategy, and it is investing to remove waste across its operations. An entry with refreshing frankness and openness. So let's see them in action. First, Ian Snow, then DPD.
We are menders, farmers, thrifters, reusers, make-doers, travellers and traders, with a passion for waste, regenerative cycles, sustainability, soil, design and creativity. This is not just a business, this is our way of life. We have strong beliefs, passion and vision, and do what we can to get our voice heard, to be a better option and to do our best to ensure minimal negative impact in every single thing we do.
Great stuff from both. And I love the semi-poetry in that Ian Snow vid. We need more poetry, even the semi sort. Talking of waste, as we run through the ceremony, you're going to see some fascinating facts popping up from our headline sponsors, CH&Co. And the first one is coming up now. There it is. You can find lots more stuff about sustainable catering and sustainable food in general on their stand. And those of you who came along in person to our awards evenings pre-COVID will know just how delicious the food was, and that was down to CH&Co. I just hope they'll be on board when we gather again next year. Right, now, waste minimisation is one absolutely essential part of the wider circular economy, and that's the topic for our next category. And here, to introduce it, is Mark Jankovic from another one of our award alumni, Delphis Eco.
Hi, my name is Mark Jankovic. I am the founder and CEO of Delphis Eco. My company makes things like this, which are cleaning products. They are super eco and are sold across the UK and all over the world. I'm delighted to be introducing the circular economy category. Clearly, in my opinion, it's the holy grail and something that we all need to aspire to. I very luckily have been on the receiving end of these awards. Again, in my opinion, I think the Global Good Awards are the best in our industry. So without further ado, the shortlist is in alphabetical order: AB InBev and Evergreen, Crown Workspace, Essity, Talk Paper Cycle, Genuine Solutions Group, IT Review, Road and Transport Authority in Dubai, and Wiltshire Digital Drive. Good luck, everybody. Over to you.
Thanks, Mark. And now, let's see the circular stars. Again, an excellent mix there. Here's a judge's take on the gold winner, AB InBev and Evergreen. This innovation is potentially massive, with huge reductions in water and land use. It could be hugely impactful if other grains can also be included, and it's great to see strong backing from senior management. Well, I'd echo that. This is one of those groundbreaking initiatives that could potentially shift a whole industry. And this is what it looks like.
The difference between using barley grain once and using it in a circular, sustainable way. Not just for the good of beer, but for the good of us all. Using the fibre and protein in grain and transforming it into world-class ingredients to help make food and drinks that aren't just better tasting, they're better for us too. Evergreen.
Cheers to that. Now, it's time for our next guest speaker, Professor Miriam Sidibe from Brands with a Mission.
I'm so pleased to have been invited to speak at the Global Good Awards ceremony and delighted to see that you practice what you preach. I think you are the gold standards in terms of sustainability awards, because what you are doing is driving and showing the real difference that it takes to be able to drive real change, to really reward change and actions rather than aims and targets. In the 4 minutes that I've been asked to speak to you about, what is absolutely true is that 48 children under 5 would have died of preventable diseases. We're talking diarrhea, we're talking pneumonia, we're talking about 1 in 3 people suffering from malnutrition, whether it being overnutrition or undernutrition. We're talking about girls suffering from low self-esteem and body dissatisfaction. And the fact that we have at our disposal what it takes to make a difference is where the biggest question is. How do you make those business models deliver on trying to reduce real suffering? And what can you do with brands and marketing to be able to drive real change in this world? We talk about words like purpose, we talk about words like mission, we talk about CSR, we talk about RSC. But at the heart of all of this, what matters is whether you're thinking about having an inclusive model, whether you're keeping in mind the most vulnerable in your business model. But what we're dealing with is corporations that are starting to become bigger than nation states. Sometimes it uses words like mission, like purpose to disguise and market a way to make money. When I think about big problems that we are facing, they require companies to deliver on purposeful solutions. And I think it is this disconnect between desirable, health-promoting behavior and the actual day-to-day habits is the source of many of this world's most pressing problems. And this is where I think brands on a mission and private sector can make a real difference. But now you need to think of it in the context of these social issues. And not only think about the individual behavior, but see what social norms and what social influencing you can really make happen. Marketing can be probably the strongest discipline in this world because it can make consumption very conscientious. What you need is a mission, a measurable, meaningful mission that creates a regenerative model. I take my inspiration from the baobab tree, which I call my purpose tree. It provides food, shelter, water. It's a place where in Africa a lot of major decisions are made under. And I believe that if you nurture the roots of this baobab, the purpose tree, and you nurture each one of those roots, you can really bridge the divide between what you say, what you do, and make sure that you benefit more and more of the communities with your business model. There are 5 questions I'm going to ask you to think about. 1, are you really driving behavior change and changing norms around a key positive habit that needs to be changed in the world? Are you creating business models that are taking into consideration the type of partnership that gives you scale, depth, that is not limited to a PR stint and a picture between 2 CEOs, but rather thinking about the networks to address the poorest of the poor and leaving no one behind? Are you thinking about the wider systemic change that you have a place to play? Are you measuring real impact? Are you measuring how much impact you're really driving in communities? And are you taking your whole company with you? That the leadership is one that embraces purpose and mission as a way that it's more than just an expense, but rather an investment for the future. Those brands are critical contenders for this fight for social justice that I'm advocating for. They have consumers and a relationship with those consumers. When a brand really aligns with its consumers, what it does is that together it solves something big. But for that, we need to stop thinking of ourselves as chief marketing officer, but we need to think of ourselves as chief mission officer to make our job delivering good, purposeful solutions. And I believe deep in my heart in the power of brands and companies to be actors of change. It is possible to rethink those business models, to integrate the sustainable development goals in our business model. I want you and I invite you to join to this purpose revolution that's challenging government, multilateral organizations, civil society, so that together with the private sector, we can fix big things, like ensuring that no kids will die from preventable diseases. You can make that change happen, and I invite you to do so.
Thank you very much, Professor Sidibe. You've laid down a powerful and very timely challenge there. Excellent stuff. Now for our Sustainable Supply Chain Award. And to hear about them, Estelle Levin-Nally from Levin Sources.
Hi everybody, my name's Estelle Levin-Nally. I'm the CEO and founder of Levin Sources. We're a social enterprise that builds sustainable, valuable and equitable mineral sectors and supply chains. I'm a New Global Good Awards judge this year, and I was really delighted to be asked at short notice to step in because there's been such a massive increase in entries. One of the categories I judged was sustainable supply chain, which is what we're doing now. And we've got 2 really good finalists this year. And next year, we'd like to see even more entries from organizations with complex supply chains in industries like automotives, green power, jewellery, fashion, fast-moving consumer goods and retail, and others that I may not have thought of. So without further ado, I'm delighted to introduce the finalists for this year's category. KPMG and events at number 6. Now, I'll hand you back to our host, Martin, who's going to reveal the winners. Good luck.
Thanks, Estelle. And you heard what the lady said, plenty of scope for some more entries next year from those with challenging supply chains. Meanwhile, let's see how this year's stack up. And here's one judge's enthusiastic take on our gold winner, KPMG. It's truly amazing that KPMG totally get the environmental impact of their suppliers, coupled with a desire to help reduce it through constant collaboration, sharing, learning and guiding. There's a really strong commitment exemplified in their adoption of science-based carbon targets, including Scope 3 emissions, but more widely looking at social as well as climate justice. So let's hear from the winners themselves.
So we do work very closely with our suppliers to help them to reduce their emissions and to report their emissions. We do that through webinars and workshops, roundtables, and target different groups of suppliers depending on their industry or their size to give them the most support we can.
It's good to see one of the biggest consultancies really getting their weight behind this stuff, isn't it? I wonder if all the others could say as much, Anyway, talking of supply chains, time for another food fact. Okay, in a minute, it's the moment you've all been waiting for. Yes, the comfort break. But first, one more award, and it's a good one. It's the Special Judges Award for Innovation. And to introduce it, back over to Phil Clark, who's safely back indoors in somewhat minimalist chic, it must be said.
Hi, it's me again, Phil Clark from Consume. Another category I've judged for the last couple of years is the Special Judges Award for Innovation. It's always a challenging one to delve deep into entries to really find the truly innovative ideas. And we had over 100 to go through to start with. Eventually, though, we whittled that down to just 8 finalists, which incidentally were all finalists in their own categories, which is very reassuring. And we decided to award a gold, a silver, and a bronze. So I'm delighted to introduce those finalists who were EHL Group, Fair Labour Association, Octopus Energy, Potential and HSBC, Samsung, Scene Saver, and Steel Warriors. So back to Martin to reveal the winners, and good luck.
Thanks, Phil, and cue the DJ, and here come the winners. Fantastic. Here's what the judges said about Steel Warriors. Fantastic stories of the positive impact on people and communities by turning knives on the street into community gyms for young people affected by crime. What you've done is inspirational, and it sends a wider message to many more. It's great to see how you've got so many corporate supporters too. An impressive and worthy endeavour. Absolutely. Let's see the Warriors in action.
For me, I did at one point go down the wrong path, selling drugs, but everyone's got anger that they need to direct somewhere.
But also what's beautiful about what Steel Warriors do is also that they take, what is most violent, the actual physical objects, the knives, and they turn them into these bars. So it's actually like a metaphor for what can be done. Like you can take the worst parts of a city and turn it into something that's the most beautiful part of the city. And I think that's just that's quite beautiful.
Yeah, quite beautiful indeed. I have to say that is one of the most inspirational stories I've seen in a long time. Okay, well, before we take a break, time for another poll. This time on forests and what you're doing about them. How is your organisation tackling deforestation? Is it doing so by A, having a rigorous policy in place not to take products from areas where forests are under threat? Or B, by investing in forest protection, either directly or via credible offsets? Or C, we're not doing anything specific on this? Again, please be honest. And you'll notice we're not including an option, we use recycled paper, because things have moved on a bit now, Right, so 5-minute comfort break. Have a pee, get a cup of tea, mix a cocktail. If you're sorted for all that, play our higher lower eco action game. Check the menu in the foyer. But we're only gone for 5 minutes, so please don't go far. Oh, and don't forget, keep sharing photos on Twitter of you enjoying yourselves using @GlobalGoodAward and #GlobalGood, or even pop them in the chat. See you in 5. Welcome back to the second part of our Global Good Awards ceremony. Over the next half hour or so, we'll be revealing some more winners who've achieved extraordinary things and hoping that they inspire you to follow their example. Now, one of the key factors that helps companies really embrace change is strong backing right from the top, from the C-suite. So, with that in mind, we're going to kick off with a few words from one of Britain's really committed CEOs, Liv Garfield from Severn Trent.
Hello, I'm Liv Garfield, Chief Exec, Severn Trent Water, and a massive welcome to the Global Good Awards virtual ceremony. Such a shame not to be there in person with everybody, but I was delighted to get the chance to say a couple of words and give my sense of what I think something like this looks like. Now, of course, there's bigger challenges than ever before for businesses, but yet also there's more of an opportunity, I believe, for business to do a force for good, to be really connected to their local community, to be involved in that transformation of society that occurs post something as big as the pandemic we've all lived through. And I think the big topics when I talk to different leaders that people are talking about is the first thing is around culture, engagement. Our greatest asset of any business is our people. What can we do to genuinely transform lives to help people to develop, but also to continue those careers as engagingly as possible? The second big topic and dilemma, of course, is carbon. The desire to get to net zero. The desire to do something positive for the planet. The desire to be the cadre of leaders that genuinely changed our future as a planet. And it's a massive challenge. I guess if you're someone like myself running a large water company, we're a high emitter. You might not think it, but if you think of all the wastewater treatment process, then actually there's quite a lot of methane gas, there's a lot of nitrous oxide that just disappears right now into the ether that needs managing. We need to capture that, recreate it, and do something with it. And I think it's a fascinating challenge. I think it's a real chance for us to do something genuinely good. And when I think about those two challenges of whether it's people and society or whether it's carbon and biodiversity, when I look at both of those, I think collaboration is the answer. No one person's going to have all the best ideas. There's going to be innovation that none of us know about. And I think it's a real chance, actually, in sectors to lean in together, one of the things that excites me most about my sector is whilst we compete on a day-to-day basis on lots of other things, actually on carbon neutrality, there's a different sense. That opportunity for all of us to do something positive was we look to try and share ideas and try and innovate as a sector as much as an individual company. So a massive well done on all of your nominations. You wouldn't be here listening to this virtually if you weren't considered to be doing something absolutely magnificent in this arena. And a big good luck and a thank you for listening. And I'm sure that over the next 12 to 18 months, we'll do some amazing things that business really is, seen as that force for good that we want it to be.
Thanks, Liv. That's a great flurry of enthusiasm there. Now, a couple of mentions of ways in which the awards themselves are making their own small contribution outside their prizes. And bearing in mind that poll we just did on forests, they're donating 1% of all turnover, not just profit, turnover, to the excellent 1% for the Planet initiative. And via the Buy One, Get One Tree campaign, contributing either £5 or £10, depending on entry fee, for each awards entrant to the equally excellent Cool Earth, to help in their vital work protecting the world's remaining rainforests. And here's a glimpse of what Cool Earth get up to.
Wildfires, flooding, hurricanes, sea level rise. Catastrophic climate change is already affecting lives around the planet.
This is climate change.
And the world is waking up. We must protect rainforest and take climate action together. Cool Earth works alongside a global network of rainforest partnerships, sharing the best ways to reduce deforestation worldwide and empower those that call rainforest home.
Para mí el bosque es mi vida.
By supporting local people, we're investing in Earth's future. For the better, it's time to take climate action together.
Climate action. Together.
Together. Together.
Together.
Excellent. I know firsthand that Cool Earth really do deliver forest protection worthy of the name, so more power to them. Okay, back to the awards, and kicking off with something new. Global Good Awards have teamed up with Ethical Angel to bring you their Community Investment Award, partnering with Charities Aid Foundation. Now, this award recognises the important role which corporate giving, done well, can have in creating real social value. If you've not come across Ethical Angel before, they're specialists in volunteering and experiential learning. And they're the people behind the Community Giving Index calculator, which they've used to help decide the winner of this award. Together with the Charities Aid Foundation, they hope it will build business confidence to really embrace employer-supported giving and volunteering and provide staff with ways to make a personal impact. Before we announce the finalists, let's learn a bit more about Ethical Angel. If you want to know more about Ethical Angel, you can book a free demo with their Lucy Kaup. Just check them out in the sponsors and contributors bit of the lobby. And here is Lucy to introduce our finalists.
Hi, I'm Lucy Kaup, Partnerships Manager at Ethical Angel, and I'm here to announce the finalists of the 2021 Ethical Angel and Charities Aid Foundation Community Investment Award. In my role at Ethical Angel, I have the pleasure of meeting with a wide range of HR and L&D leaders that don't just want to improve their employee experience through virtual volunteering or experiential learning. They want to make a difference to our global community of good causes that they're able to support by offering these opportunities to their employees via Ethical Angel. Before I announce this year's finalists, I want to say a huge thank you to the Global Good Awards for the opportunity to host this amazing award, and to Charities Aid Foundation for partnering with us on this award to promote the need for businesses to engage in corporate giving and volunteering. For our first category, enterprises, in no particular order, the finalists are Co-op Group, Euromonitor International, UBS. Second category is SMEs. Again, in no particular order, the finalists are Business Design Centre, EQ Investors, and Jargo. Finally, even though this award recognises corporate giving, Ethical Angel wanted to acknowledge third sector organisations and the great charitable donations and volunteering they're carrying out all over the world. The finalists are Children Hope Forever, This Life NGO, and the Open Tree Foundation. We'll be awarding a gold for each of these categories, so let's head back to Martin to reveal the winners.
Thanks, Lucy. And so we have 3, count 'em, excellent Gold Award winners. Taking the Enterprise Gold, Euromonitor, which shrugged off COVID to donate a staggering $1.2 million to charity in 2020 alone, when staff carried out a total of 26,969 hours worth of in-person volunteering. The SME Gold goes to the EQ Foundation, backed by EQ Investors, which donated $1 million to good causes in 2020, a hugely impressive total for an SME. Last but not least, the third sector gold goes to This Life Cambodia, which supports community development there. Despite being a small organisation, they threw themselves into a range of giving and volunteering, providing over $58,000 of in-kind donations in 2020, along with hundreds of volunteering hours. Congratulations to all of them. Okay, time for our last poll today. And with all this talk of corporate giving, let's have one on social value. Here goes. How many of your employees actually take up all the volunteer days they're entitled to? Is it A, at least 80%, B, at least 50%, C, 0 to 50%, D, none at all, or E, be honest, I honestly don't know. Right, talking of employee well-being, it's time for an Employee Engagement and Wellbeing Award. Let's hear from Nelly Makangu from Athena Leaders, the Mary Poppins of business. No, she is. She really is. Look.
Hi, I'm the Mary Poppins of business, also known as Nelly Makangu, the founder of Athena Leaders. For us, it's not just about developing new products or projects finishing on time. We are really excited about helping our clients go into a journey into developing a workplace playground where people feel happy, productivity soars, and more importantly, people are excited about coming to work, especially on a Monday as well. It was really exciting for me as a first-time judge at the Global Goods Award, reading so many entries within the employment engagement and well-being category. The race was really, really fierce, as many organizations have stepped up to design a workplace playground even during the pandemic. The finalists that are up for gold or silver are EHL Group, KPMG, Stantec, and JSK. And the winner is... I'll hand over to Martin, our host, to reveal the winner, whilst the Mary Poppins fly away to other organizations.
Thanks, Nelly. Getting excited to go to work on a Monday. How's that for a benchmark? Right, let's see the princes on the podium. And here's what one of our judges made of the gold winner, GSK. It's a well-crafted, multifaceted approach which touches all areas of a geographically diverse business. I particularly like the tailored programs that respond to locational nuances and public health challenges, not a one-size-fits-all approach. It's backed up with demonstrable evidence both in terms of business outcomes, such as a reduction in staff turnover, and well-being metrics. Okay, what's that look like in action? Let's see. I just love the idea that one person's everyday activity is running through a graveyard in shocking pink. I mean, why not? Okay, time for another Did You Know from CH&Co. Food for thought there, eh? Now, on to our most competitive category, Community Partnership, and it's over to Peter Hughes, until very recently the Head of Diversity and Inclusion at Pearson. He's taken the summer off to decide his next career move, hopefully making a bit of dent in that impressive wine rack as he does so.
Greetings from East London. My name is Peter Hughes, and until recently I was the Head of Diversity and Inclusion at Pearson. This is my third year as a judge, and this year I judged the Community Partnerships category. As judges, we were incredibly impressed by the number, the variety, and also the quality of applicants. It made our job harder. Now, we were looking at the way that projects made a difference in terms of how they use their resources, their achievements in terms of outcomes, and how they thought about areas such as scalability. And with this in mind, we put forward 1 gold, 2 bronzes, and also 2 commendations, 1 on community investment and 1 on community engagement. You'll hear more about these from Martin once the winners have been announced. So there are 5 chances to be a winner. Now it's time to reveal the finalists. And they are Aviva, Barclays, the Hammersmith Bid, and TfL. JTI, Qualcomm Wireless Reach, RefuAid, and finally UBS and Unlimited. I'll now hand you back to our host Martin to reveal the winners. Good luck, everybody.
Cheers, Peter. That's one hell of a shortlist, eh? Okay, let's see who got their noses in front. Here's what the judges said about the tremendous RefuAid. This appears to be the first scheme of its kind, helping refugee nurses transfer their qualifications to become registered nurses in the UK. It's a fantastic initiative, connecting a real need with a ready source of supply. Okay, so let's meet a couple of the amazing refugees it's worked with.
Running in my blood. When I was a child, I hope in my future to be a doctor or a nurse.
When you're helping patients to get rid or to overcome their pain and their illness, this is something make you feel great inside you, because this is like a human job or a humanity.
It's heartwarming stuff, isn't it? We hear so much about the shortage of nurses and about the desperate desire of refugees to work, to contribute to society, so this does seem like a matchmaking service made in heaven. Now, as Peter mentioned, the judges also wanted to recognise 2 other entries, both of which have put a massive amount of resources behind their programmes. So, there's a special commendation for community investment and 1 for community engagement. And here they are. So, on Barclays, the judges were impressed by how it's connecting entrepreneurs into a community and providing access to mentors, while also having a strong connection to their core business. And the judges welcomed the potential to help these businesses scale up. And on UBS Unlimited, the judges described this as an innovative project delivered in a constructive and creative way with plenty of scalability demonstrated. The partners clearly bring specific skill sets and knowledge to touch what is often a hard-to-reach community with an innovative product. So, two great examples there of how financial giants can touch communities in altogether positive ways. Okay, moving on, and almost as competitive as community partnership, it's educational excellence. To hear how our judges got on with that, we're going over to Hill Berg from One Planet Communications. Rocking that bare brick look again.
Hi, I'm Hill Berg. I'm Managing Director of One Planet Communications, which is a social change communications consultancy. And I've been a judge of the Global Good Awards for the last 3 years. This year, I was really privileged to help judge the Education Award. Myself and my fellow judges were absolutely blown away by the quality of the entries and the sheer number of entries that were coming in from all over the world. And we have just been amazed by the number of people doing incredible things to expand the horizons of children and young people and to really, really help them fulfill their potential wherever they live and whatever their circumstances. And because of the number and the quality of entries, we decided that we would make a gold, silver and bronze award for large organisations and for small organisations. And so I'll tell you who is on the shortlist for the awards this year for the Education Award. And the shortlisted entries are Earth Cubs, Elephants for Africa, the Mega World Foundation, Potential and HSBC, Samsung UK, Solutions for the Planet, Ultra Education Kick, and Verizon and Digital Promise. And I will hand you back to Martin to tell you who the winners are.
Thanks, Hill. Some smart thinking from the judges there to have not one, but 2 awards, separating the chalk from the cheese, as it were. So, here's the big guys first. So, Samsung picks up gold, and here's what one of the judges said about it. An impressive research-led program built on evidence, providing an innovative solution that has had great results. An unconventional approach from a tech brand that decided not to focus on tech skills, but on key societal issues. A clear commitment to continue to develop the program and exciting potential for replication and scalability. And now for the Compact and Bijou winners. And it's Ultra Education that snaffles the gold. As one judge commented, equality and inclusion are obviously key drivers for this programme, ensuring everyone has an equal chance. It comes with a compelling backstory and teaches entrepreneurship to young people as a means to build skills and resilience. So, let's see both in action. Samsung up first.
Mentors were diverse, unconventional and brilliant. Experts were recruited from the likes of Internet Matters, Hubbub, the Red Cross and Samsung. We called out to potential participants. We told them, the future is yours. We asked if they were up for building it. They were. Thousands applied. Thoughts were shared, ideas were born. Not to school grades, they smashed it.
Entrepreneurship is an amazing vehicle for self-development. If you speak to any entrepreneur, they'll tell you that the personal development journey that they've gone on has been one that's been really impactful. That is a gift that I'd like to give to the next generation.
2 very different, equally brilliant projects. I can absolutely see why the judges decided they had to have their own awards. And now, we come to perhaps the most poignant category of them all this year, the COVID Crisis Champions Award. We had a gratifyingly huge number of entries, so again decided to split them into large and small organisations right from the off. And we roped in 4 new judges to help scale the mighty entry mountain. And now we're going to hear from one of them, a man who couldn't be more suited to the task as he helped develop and lead the National Business Response Network on COVID at Business in the Community. Here's the wonderful Joey Tabone.
Hello, Global Good Award audience worldwide, and my name is Joey Tabone. I'm the founder of 67.Green, sustainability experts in London. I'm here to announce the finalists for the COVID Crisis Large Organisation category of the Global Good Awards. I'm really excited to be here. Amazing efforts internationally by companies in direct response to the pandemic, and it made the judging really tough, but the entries were absolutely outstanding, I can assure you of that. So without further ado, and channeling my best Graham Norton Eurovision persona, I would like to announce who the finalists were for the COVID Crisis Large Organisation category. Aviva, Barclays, GLG, Investec Bank, NatWest Group with the National Emergencies Trust, Santander with the Alzheimer's Society and Age UK, and Unilever with the UK Foreign, Commonwealth and Development Office. So all I've left to say is goodbye and good luck.
Thanks, Joey. A mild-mannered Graham Norton if ever I saw one. So here they come. So Unilever and the FCDO it is, and it's fair to say the judges were mightily impressed. What a tremendous speed and scale of impact, they said. Launched in April 2020 and active within 30 days, and yet the monitoring and evaluation was still as thorough as they come. This mighty initiative of 78 projects in 37 countries has undoubtedly saved many lives. Providing individual beneficiaries maintain their changed habits, the impact will be long-lasting. Congratulations on a tremendous public-private partnership. Yeah, I'll second that. Let's see what it looked like on the ground.
It's a unique partnership between Unilever, with their expertise in hygiene behaviour change, resources and communication, and the UK Government's Foreign, Commonwealth and Development Office, the FCDO, who are well placed to rapidly deploy a global programme in the fight against COVID-19. Today, we have an opportunity to focus our efforts where we know it's needed most and help build a world that's stronger, fairer and better.
Some mighty, mighty numbers there, eh? Big kudos to Unilever and their partners in the FCDO for pulling it off with such alacrity. Right, on to the smaller organisations, introduced by another of our hugely welcome new cohort of judges. From a serene backdrop at Cambridge University, we welcome Marie-Claire, and I think I'll let her introduce herself.
Good afternoon, good evening, and good morning, depending on your time zone. I'm Professor Marie-Claire Cordonnier-Seger, Senior Director of the Centre for International Sustainable Development Law and Leverhulme Professor of International Law here in the University of Cambridge. I'm a new judge this year, brought in at short notice due to the vast amount of entries in the COVID Crisis Champions category. I was delighted to evaluate the entries submitted by many organizations, large and small, and focus in particular on the very small organizations. It has been an extraordinary process with truly exemplary examples of COVID crisis champions working to improve their world in a time of great difficulty. The judges had an array of extremely good entries to choose from. And finally, after much deliberation, we were able to choose a gold winner, a silver winner, and 2 bronzes. Without further ado, I'm delighted to introduce the finalists for this category: Clear Voice, the Hubbub Foundation, Ian Snow, Coke Roma, Mega World Foundation, Scene Saver, Bags of Ethics and the British Fashion Council, and Toy Bank. I'm now going to hand you back to Martin, our host, to reveal the incredible winners. Good luck.
Thanks, Marie-Claire. And here's that big reveal. So the judges were hugely impressed. at how Toy Bank carried on providing 50,000 vulnerable Indian children with emotional support, learning and resilient skills through the medium of play right through the pandemic by pivoting its work into the digital Toy Bank Play to Learn kit, along with other initiatives to help kids through the crisis. Here's just a hint of their work. Right, we're entering the home straight now, and it's on to Best Startup Enterprise of the Year. And to introduce it, a long-standing supporter and judge, Georgina Wilson-Powell from Pebble magazine.
Hi, I'm Georgina Wilson-Powell. I am the founder of Pebble, which is your stylish guide to sustainable living, and I have been a judge since 2018. It's absolutely a highlight of my year, and I love judging every year. This year, I was a judge on one of the best startups. And the range of innovation and just incredible ideas this year was so strong that it was just so hard to even get to a shortlist, let alone some winners. So without further ado, there will be a gold, silver and bronze for this category, and also a one to watch. Ones to watch are projects that have amazing potential, but we just aren't quite ready to be able to rate their impact quite yet. So come back in a couple of years and we'd love to judge it again for you. So without further ado, we have the shortlist: Biophilica, Haynes Collection, Ocean Hero, Ocean Tea, Scene Saver, and Steel Warriors. And now I'll hand back to Martin so you can find out who are the winners.
Thanks, Georgina. Some familiar names in there from other categories, but a brand new winner. Let's see who it is. And here's our judges' view on gold winner Ocean Tea. A clearly demonstrated need, opportunity and execution from two people with a vision to replace plastic in a sector that's overdue for innovation. Really impressive reach for a startup. Can't ask for more, really. A great startup and an exciting new product. And here it is.
A small bamboo tea gave us the idea to better golf. A bamboo tea inspired us to champion sustainability. A bamboo tea led us to create an eco-clothing line made with pioneering sustainable fabrics. Yeah. A bamboo tea is taking us back to what matters. A bamboo tea that means less plastic makes it to the sea. Ocean Tea, the sustainable golf brand.
I love that shark, don't you? And it's good to see yet more creative uses of bamboo. It really is one of the essential materials of tomorrow, don't you think? Okay, now, to our Individual Leader of the Year award, sponsored by the wonderful folk at Prospect Arts. And among many other things, that team is behind this very video production. It's over to Rebel with a Cause Dave Hampton to give us the runners and riders.
Hi, I'm Dave Hampton, former GB rowing team of the 1980s, founder of Champions for Earth and a Rebel for Life. I've been a judge since 2016, and this year I helped judge the Individual Leader of the Year. True leadership, of course, is a really difficult quality to judge, and such a vital one for Earth right now. So I'm delighted so many outstanding leaders took the trouble to enter. We have a gold, a silver and a bronze, just like the Olympics, and it was really hard to narrow them down, but a good consensus emerged. Without further ado, delighted to introduce the finalists for this category. Ruwati Gurung from Kakroma, Rachel Hodgdon from the International Well Building Institute, David McDonald from The Path Financial, Matthew Owen from Cool Earth, and Dominic Ponia from Cleanology. I'll hand you back to Martin to reveal the winners, and good luck.
Thanks, Dave. Love the t-shirt too, Own the Media. Strapline, as you may know, of the rather wonderful cooperative behind Positive News. Okay, let's see the winners. Those are three impressive individuals. Here's what our judges had to say about our gold winner, the coolly earthy Matthew Owen. It's clear that Matthew goes above and beyond to be ethical, not just from an ecological point of view, but also in the way he runs the company. I love the emphasis on empowering people to look after their rainforest and empowering his team to make decisions. Fantastic commitment and strong leadership. So, let's hear from Matthew himself.
Let's say you have a legal logging concession. You're allowed to take wood out from there, but you've used up all the mahoganies and the cedars. So what you do is you go to somewhere like Kutavareni, you offer $250 for a cedar tree, chop it down, ship it back to your concession, 100 miles away normally, and then you forge the paperwork and send it on its way. It's basically money laundering, but for logs. What's really interesting, though, is that sometimes they don't just take the tree, they take the trunk, they dig the thing up, they shift that 100 miles, they dig a hole, pop it in there, pat it down, and claim that this tree has always been there, so of course it must be legitimate.
Powerful stuff from Matthew in his TED talk there. It's great to profile the work of organisations like Cool Earth, but it's also good to glimpse the energy and enthusiasm of the people behind them, eh? And there's a lot of energy and enthusiasm in the Prospect Arts team. I've seen that for myself. Here's a snapshot of what they do.
80% of those who use heroin and fentanyl now began with a prescription pill.
It's killing people, and it's getting worse.
When I turned the light on, I could see that he had overdosed.
Salitoka, bwanangu akapeleka bakazika.
All they should be getting is love, and that's the opposite.
When I was 19, I ended up on the street.
The next Olympic hopeful for rowing is Ladarian North.
I was homeless 5 years ago.
This will be a huge revolution in the treatment of addiction.
Clean water, it's going to be the biggest fight for humanity in the future.
How lucky are we that we're the ones who get to solve this?
Basi akatupatia Vanessa, njoo huyu watatu. Mungu ashukuriwe.
I'm already cold. I'm in my sleeping bag. It's going to be a long, cold night.
Okay, just 2 to go now. First up, Global Good SME of the Year. So it's over to Harriet Kelsall, who's an SME all in her own right in the form of HK Bespoke Jewellery, to tell us all about it. Her and Luna, that is.
Hello, I'm Harriet Kelsall from Harriet Kelsall Jewellery Design. This is my 4th time judging the awards, and this is Luna, my cat. This is her first time judging the awards. She's been very helpful in the entire process, and she's probably going to start walking on my keyboard now. So yeah, it's been brilliant judging this year. I think we've had more than ever coming forward, which is fantastic. And this year I've been judging the Global Good SME of the Year, which has been really interesting and inspiring to see all of the different things that people are doing. And it's been one thing that we've really noticed this year is that it's always quite hard to judge a larger small business against a really tiny micro business. And so one thing we've decided to do because of that reason is to award a gold, a silver, and actually 2 bronzes, because it's been quite hard to separate really good performance within such a big difference between the larger small businesses and the tiny businesses. So without further ado, I am delighted to announce the shortlist, the finalists for this category. They are Forster Communications, Hadley Property Group, High Speed One, Ian Snow, Switch Packaging, and Tech Buyer. So I'll hand you back to the host, Martin, and I'm looking forward to him revealing the winners. Good luck.
Thanks, Harriet. Good to see you definitely didn't get the memo about the bare brick background too. So here's the peerless ones on the podium. Oh, it's a great mix there, isn't it? And here's what the judges thought of winners, Forster Communications. It's clear the values of Forster are lived by all employees, and a huge attempt to ensure they walk the talk is embedded in the organisation. Setting goals to only buy from suppliers with clear net zero ambitions and doing likewise with clients is a bold move. Their B Corp status and alignment with external benchmarks demonstrates their commitment. Right, let's see what they have to say for themselves. PR with a soul, eh? Let's hope others follow. And finally, last but not anywhere near least, the Global Good Company of the Year, sponsored by Tideway, winners of this very category in 2020. Let's hear more from our judge, Sarah Gillett, from Climate Action sponsors, the Planet Mark.
Hi, I'm Sarah Gillett, Director of Product Development and Research at Planet Mark. We are the proud sponsors of the Climate Action category. This is my second year judging the awards, and one of the categories I looked at this year was the Global Good Company of the Year. For this award, we are looking for organisations that have embedded sustainability across their whole operations. They can evidence significant progress from their baseline, and also the impact of their programmes. For next year, we encourage entries from more organisations across all industry sectors. This is the big prize, but don't be shy to show us what you're doing. This year, the judges have decided to award 1 gold and 2 bronze awards. The 2 bronzes were of similar calibre, but neither one was strong enough for a silver in the judges' opinion. So, without further ado, I'm delighted to introduce the finalists for this category. Capital One, Cleanology, and ITV. And I'll hand you back to our host, Martin, to reveal the winners. Good luck.
And here, for the very last time, that music. So it's double gold for ITV. And here's the words of one of our judges on them. A strong, comprehensive and purpose-driven sustainability and social impact programme with strong senior buy-in and action. Sustainability seems to be very well integrated in ITV, running throughout the business and communicated to all. Has a diverse set of programmes which provide different ways for employees to engage, with 91% of all staff having gone through sustainability training. A fabulous and detailed entry. So, what does that look like? Let's see.
We've set bold 2030 targets for energy, waste, sourcing, and culture.
Tackling climate change is something that ITV are committed to, and we have pledged to become net zero by 2030.
We're the first broadcaster to commit to 100% sustainable Albert certification for all shows we produce and commission.
As part of ITV's efforts to reduce our carbon footprint, we've been awarded with the Albert certificate.
Over 5,000 colleagues have been trained in climate action. A network of 8 active green teams catalyse change across the business.
We have a dedicated green team that are constantly monitoring what we're doing and making sure that we are doing the best that we can do.
Editing remotely saves miles too. This software means we can send our work directly to the studio, saving reporters a drive back to base.
ITV really setting the bar there with a credible, thorough and ambitious 2030 target. And here comes another food fact. Okay, well, we're done with all the awards now, but don't rush off just yet, as this bit is important. First, We've only shown video clips of the gold winners, otherwise the ceremony would have been a lot longer. But there's a winner's showreel coming soon, full of inspirational stories from around the world. It will be emailed to you all at the end of the week. Second, if your organisation is among today's prize winners, whether it's gold, silver, bronze, one to watch or a commendation, then at the end of this ceremony, you can join in with the speed networking and get to meet your fellow winners. It works like this. The system randomly selects 2 people at a time, and you'll get 3 minutes each before moving on. All you need to do is go back to the lobby straight after I finish speaking. Click on Programme and the next live event, and you'll be there. So, what about next year, I hear you ask? Well, we already have the 2022 timeline in place, and here it is. As you see, we open for entries on 31st of January, so keep an eye out for that. You might want to apply yourself. You might want to encourage others to do so. So please put those dates in your diary. And finally, massive congratulations to all the winners and all the finalists. You really deserved your place on the podium. It was a damn rigorous judging process. I know, I was part of it. If you've got through that, you've done extremely well. And we hope to see you all in person for our ceremony and party next year, God willing, back at BAMA House where we belong. It's always a great night out. Okay, we are about all wrapped up. It's only left for me to click my fingers and make the winners' pages on the website go live. And to say thanks so much for being part of this, however you're watching, whatever you're drinking, wherever you are. On behalf of Karen and all of the team, all the judges and myself, thanks so much for watching. Have a lovely day, a lovely evening, a lovely sleep, sweet dreams, and see you next year. It's a wrap.